2, 1. Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try-F Podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. How are you today, Cody?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I am fantastic. As good as I
That's good to hear.
Good as I can expect to be. I'm hoping that... Well, no, Rumble's fighting me. Of course it is. Well, anyway. So while I'm messing with that, tell me a little bit about your week. Did you hear about what's going on with the Epstein Files and all that?
No, just little snippets here and there.
Okay.
Nothing I need to talk about myself.
Gotcha. We look orange on the Rumble stream. I have no idea
I see that. It's quite interesting.
Why? All right. Do we look like that on YouTube? Hang on a minute.
I don't know.
Ruh-roh. Come on. Listen to us talk about ourselves.
I need to talk about myself.
It's doing the same thing on... We look orange on the... That's weird. It's doing the same thing on... Why is it doing that?
Oh, it just switched back. What'd you do?
What'd I do?
It just fixed itself for a second. You changed it. There it is.
Huh. Well, when I go on the line, it... What in the Rumble stream? Blasted world?
I see that. It's quite interesting.
Why? All right. Do we look like that
like
on YouTube?
Space aliens.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ruh-roh. Huh. Okay. Hang on a minute. I'm not sure what to do about that, Cody. That is extremely confusing.
It's not on YouTube or no?
It is on YouTube. Yeah, it's on both the streams.
Wow.
But it's not like that on Rumble. Wow.
That's weird.
That's really weird.
I just seen red.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
got any biscuits and mustard in there?
Yeah. Well, we might have to start the stream over. Let me check the phone really quick and see if it's doing it on the phone.
Okay.
What are you doing? And, of course, it's going to fight me because everything's going to fight. Well, while I'm sitting here trying to fix everything...
You got to fight.
Oh, well, looks fine.
Right.
Well, we might have to start the stream over. Looks fine on the phone. Hang on a minute.
So it's your computer?
Yeah, it's my computer monitor. Well, I'm stupid.
Huh.
That's weird. Okay, well, if it's my computer monitor, forget it. Sorry about that, folks. We're just going to move on. Huh.
Just sitting here rambling about nothing.
I know, right? Making ourselves look like all kinds of foolish. All right. Okay, well, tonight, sorry for the delay, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be covering our Bible reading. We're on Genesis chapter 19. I think this is the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah, so that ought to be interesting. And then after that, we've got a review of Underworld. Review of Underworld. We're going to talk about Kate Beckinsale's Vampire. It's a good movie. Anyway.
It is.
And then we're going to talk about Pam Bondi's meltdown. And she's got to go.
Ridiculous.
She's got to go. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So we're gonna express rage about Pam Bondi after that. And then finally we're gonna end the night with more like just going on Twitter and looking at some of the emails on the Epstein Files. And that's going to wrap it up. So, with all that being said, good sir, let's just get into it. Let me pull this up here. Yeah, I will begin reading and just stop me when you have any thoughts. So, all right. So, Genesis chapter 19. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet. And ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they came unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold now, I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing. Therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. So, priorities.
I think it makes sense. Because good choice. That's a nice hat.
I'm going Butch Bulldyke.
We're live.
Hi, Callie.
Gary says hi. That was funny.
Yeah, so anyway. So Lot's like...
So I think... Yeah, I don't know if I would have made the same choice as Lot, like giving up my daughter to these dudes, but... So I think what he was trying to prevent was breeding more Nephilim, because these dudes wanted to bang angels, right? Because that's how you make monsters.
I don't think they
back
knew...
in the day.
That is interesting. I haven't heard that. So you think that they knew these guys were angels? They weren't just like wanting...
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. You look great. Squirrel and bird.
Right.
All right. Anyway.
So you think that they knew they were angels?
Yeah.
That's interesting. See, because what I heard is that there was a culture at the time where they would like attack foreigners that tried to enter towns, and they'd rape them and run them off, basically, or R-word them and run them off, basically. But I'd never heard of them thinking that they knew that they were angels. Interesting.
I mean, I don't think so. Like when you talked about the flood story, I don't think God was like. He says all. I mean, we've had this argument, I guess. When he says all flesh was corrupt, I guess this is where that our division in thinking is landing us here. So when he says all flesh was corrupt, I think that was like they were making like horse people or minotaurs, whatever they're called,
chimeras,
and stuff like that. Yeah, chimeras.
Okay.
So, I don't think God destroys people unless they have like animal genetics in their blood. You know what I mean? I don't think God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah for being morally corrupt. I think it's like they're actually like corrupted flesh.
Okay.
So, and what was going on with these angels was like it's showing you what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like these guys want to bang angels because that's what they've already been doing.
Let me push back a little bit. Why would it be bad ethically for a man to have animal blood, as it were?
Because he's not human. He doesn't have the spark of life.
Why is that bad?
I would say you're probably replacing. You're probably replacing a set of chromosomes. I don't know which way it works, but you would be putting in the chromosomes of a corrupt something that's not of God, right? I don't know how to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think, but I don't want to make your argument for you. So I
So
I
like
think I know
say
what you're
say
saying.
like you remember not David Irving. The guy that
Check.
claimed to found the blood of Jesus?
Ron Wyatt, I think was his
Ron
name.
Wyatt. Okay.
Yeah.
So when they look at the blood in that documentary, they're like, the mother's side has this many chromosomes, and the father's side has 23 chromosomes, and so put them together, it makes 40 something chromosomes, right? But Jesus's blood chromosomes, his father was spiritual, so he only had like half the chromosomes, only the mother's side, right?
Right.
So I think it would probably work the same way with chimeras, but you wouldn't have the spark of life or the divinity of God in you because that part's been replaced with something else.
I don't know if this is going to be of interest to you, but later on in my book series, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm actually supposed to get there in not the next book I'm writing, but the book after that in the series I have planned. I'm actually going to be writing about chimeras. I take the exact opposite angle. Like, they're still people, even though they were genetically spliced, I guess. My argument being they didn't have a choice in the matter, so how could they be inherently evil if they didn't choose to be, like, half animal or whatever?
Well, they're not inherently evil. A dog isn't evil, but it's not a human.
Well, why is God destroying them then if they're not inherently evil?
Because he needs room for his creation, his pure creation.
You don't think he could make like more room?
Yeah, he could, but I don't want to live in a world with monsters. I think that's the difference between the Old Testament and New Testament.
I don't
It's a
know if I
spiritual battle
care.
now.
I don't care if you're half horse or not. Could ask you for a
So
ride,
you would
maybe.
be okay with like gorilla dudes walking around? Because they would just kill people, right?
Well, if they're not sentient,
Like a
but
dude
what
with
if they're
an alligator
sentient?
head. He's just like walking around and eating people, and you're like, yeah, this is great.
I don't think they would do that if they were sentient, though. That's the thing. It's like if they're not sentient, then they're not human. Like, the criterion for human is sentience. So, the ability to go, should I do that? Is that the right thing to do? I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be sentient.
So you don't think the chimeras were sentient then? You think they were
No,
basically
I mean,
they were
like-
animalistic?
If you look at like mythology, like minotaurs were always like overly grumpy, and stuff like that. Like they all have personalities in the mythology. So I mean, I would, and they are what they are. Like a snake's a snake. It's gonna bite you. So yeah, I mean, I don't. If it's not human, it's not human.
That's interesting. Well,
I mean, it's
obviously
like
we disagree with that.
but,
I'm
I
just
mean,
trying to chase your idea down a little
like,
bit.
God created us in his image. Like, obviously he doesn't want that corrupted. So like when we go corrupting that image, he's got to say, hey, cut that shit out.
Yeah, but is he going to punish somebody who didn't have a choice in being corrupted? So I don't know how I don't know how making a
'Cause it's an
chimera.
animal. It's like,
But what if it's not though? What if it's a person? Like, what if you get
I
like
don't-
if you're a mermaid and you've got a brain or whatever?
no, dude, there's like a spark in your eye when you're sentient. Some people lose it. Have you seen people lose it?
Yes. I mean, I don't know
Okay,
if I would
so-
call it. The way I look at it is it's like it all has to
If
do
a
with the
person
will
can
though.
lose it, then a chimera can lose it.
Yes, but let me push back a little bit. So the way that I look at it, like when people lose that spark in their eye, as you call it, I think there's a process that makes that happen. I think it's like when you're following your hedonistic desires, when you're following your impulses, and you're not stopping, and you're not pausing, and you're not being introspective. I think over time, people can, in a certain respect, become less and less human, as it were, because you lose that ability to be introspective. You just become reactionary. And so you just lose your impulse control. So it's like in that
agree.
way you can kind of de-evolve, if you want to use that terminology. Although I hate the evolution paradigm, as I've said ad nauseum. But I do think that if people listen
So
to
you
that
think,
animal instinct, Like if
So you
they're
if Tumnus from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was a real dude, you think that he could achieve uh, ascendance, for lack of a better term?
yes, like if the person, because what you're really looking at is an external, what's the dad, like a manifestation of the duality of humanity anyway. In the case of a chimera. If we're gonna like again, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you, but we're just chasing the idea. So I would say it's like a manifestation or externalization of the same dichotomous nature of humanity anyway. So the more that person listens to like the spirit, as it were, they they're well behaved, they listen to objective morality, they continue to stop and pause and be introspective. The more they do that, the more human, quote unquote, they become. The more they listen to their impulses, their quote unquote fallen nature, the more animalistic they'll become. That would be my argument. But it's all rooted in the will. If there's going to be chimeras, that's kind of how I would picture a scenario like that myself.
I don't understand what you're saying. What's your point?
Well, my point is, I don't think God is going to punish a human, even if a human looks like an animal, because these are all spiritual. Like, to be human is more than just a body.
It's like if you I mean, you used to raise dairy cows. If you had a cow that like had a broken leg or something,
Right.
I'm trying to think of a good example. Like if you're out in the middle of the woods and your horse breaks its leg, like, is it cruel to shoot the horse?
No, but it's because the thing is going to continue to suffer and be in miserable pain if you don't.
Right.
It's a
if you were
mercy
half
killing.
goat, you don't think you would be suffering?
Well, you could. I mean,
You have digestive problems, reproduction problems, because ladies would be like, "You're disgusting."
Well, then it'd be a failed experiment, yeah.
And then you would have half goat kids, and just the whole thing is a mess, dude. You don't want that. You want God's image, and that's why he's like, cut that shit out. You can't make half goat people, okay? I'm gonna kill all of them.
I don't know. Like, if they're in pain, I see what you're saying. But if they're not in pain and the experiment works, then you lose the ground for mercy killing.
So God's like, yeah, you know what? The guy with the the monkey arms, like, that's pretty cool. I'll let that one slide.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's not God's image, bro.
But he did give us a will.
No.
So can we not alter that? The part of having a will is being able to exert your reality into the world around you. It's not just to make a choice. The part of the aspect of having a will is being able to influence your environment, to influence things. That's part of the bargain of having free will. So arguably, if you want to turn yourself into a goat man, you could.
Yeah,
whether that's advisable is another question.
God's will. It has to be God's will.
No, it certainly wouldn't be God's will, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's sinful. It just means you're exerting your own will. Like if I turn right versus left.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's sinful to corrupt the image of God, but if that's not necessarily sinful, then it's not necessarily mean to kill all of those abominations of the image of God.
Well, that's God's prerogative. I'm just saying why. On what ethical grounds would God kill them?
Because it is the corrupted image of God. It's corrupt.
But why is it corrupt? What about being an animal is corrupt?
I'm not saying being an animal is corrupt. I'm saying the image of God was corrupt. So, like, God made us in his image, that's humans, right? And
but that's not physical form,
that
though.
image, when you alter that image, you are corrupting the image of God. That is a sin.
What do you think being made in the image of God is? Because we don't have, like, God doesn't have a body. So what does it mean to be made in the image of God?
I think it has to do with everything. really. Like the entire way we're designed and the way we think and the way we talk and literally everything.
But there's a spiritual reality that's like behind the flesh, because obviously to be made in the image of God can't mean physical appearance, because number one, we all look different. Number two, there's two different genders. Number three, there's different races. Like, that can't be a physical analogy, so what does it actually mean? And if it's something that's not physical, how does a chimera violate that?
Humans are bipedal. I mean, that's...
God's not bipedal, though.
It's not like you can, like, mistake a human for something else. Okay?
Yes, but why? I agree with you, but why?
I don't know. It's the way we're designed.
Yeah, well, I would argue it's because we can understand God's moral law. Like, the moral law is a description of God's nature, and so we have the propensity to do good. We have the propensity to understand good, not necessarily, like, understand evil, but, you know, we have the ability to understand who God is.
No, we don't. We have the propensity to allow God's will to happen and reject our own will. That's the only thing it is. Like, animals are different than us because animals...
What I mean, though, is you understand...
They only think about what they're doing. They don't have kindness and empathy for other people.
What I mean, though, is that you understand what beauty is as an abstract concept, and you believe beauty is objectively real. That's what I mean. Like, you understand the things that God understands that go beyond the physical.
No, I don't.
That's at least one facet of being made in the image of God.
His thoughts are not my thoughts. I don't understand.
Well, yes, he's obviously going to be perfect because you're not. You're a fallen being. But to be made in the image of God is to, at least in some measure, reflect him spiritually, is the core point of my argument. So if the criterion for being made in the image of God is a spiritual criterion, how does being a chimera violate that, is what I'm getting at. Because it can't, to be made in the image of God can't be a physical criterion because he doesn't have a body. So,
well, I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, it affected their behaviors too. Like, if you got the mind of a horse, you're going to be a little freaking...
But did we know that they had the mind of a horse, these chimeras?
No, but if you look at the mythology, like what I was saying earlier, minotaurs were really, like, ornery and hateful. I mean, because they had a horse brain, dude. Horses are mean. Like,
I thought they were very loyal and majestic, Cody.
Well, not when they have a person sticking off of their freaking head.
Okay.
Makes their neck hurt.
So, but are they irritable horses or irritable people? Are they mad that they got a human head, or are they mad that they got horse legs?
I mean,
what are they mad about?
I'd be mad about something if I was half a horse. I mean, you know.
Oh wow, this is a silly conversation.
You pick up behaviors too.
Okay. No, I mean, okay. Well, it's an interesting hypothetical. We should probably move on. I guess we could keep talking in circles if we want, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we can move on.
I mean, it's a interesting philosophical question. I'm going to go with the angle that they're sentient, though. So, because I think that's more interesting. I don't think I could... Huh? Chimeras. Chimeras being sentient in the book that I'm... in the series that I'm currently on. So, yeah, that was the angle. Because that's more interesting to me. I don't think having a horse-minded centaur would be a very interesting plot development myself.
No, it wouldn't.
It seems like that'd be kind of boring.
Yeah,
so
because it would make sense.
You know, that's a fairly truthful statement. That makes too much sense to be interesting. So, okay, moving on. Where were we? Let me think. Let's see. But for the record, I think this is based on my memory from the cultural situation. They would commonly like run outsiders out at this time by like raping, R-wording them, YouTube, and you know, kicking them out and that kind of thing. So I don't think they knew they were angels. And I think if they knew they were angels, they probably would not have attacked Lot's house the way they did, given what happens here in a few verses. So let me figure out where I was. Yeah, okay, no. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, though, is just like how awful it is that Lot offered his daughters. I just think that's just... I feel like that's relevant. This might be reading too much into it, but from an allegory standpoint, I kind of feel like that's America in a nutshell, given the current climate.
Who did we give?
Oh, thank you, Jess. Appreciate it. So we're looking and sounding good, by the way. If you don't mind, kind of keep an eye on us, especially here in the next hour when we start talking about Bondi and we start playing clips, because that's when the lag usually kicks in. So thanks. Appreciate it. So anyway, yeah, I feel like there's an allegory there. Not intentionally so, obviously, but, just this idea of we're going to sacrifice our children. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's my daughters. Don't beat me up. Like, don't violate my role as guest or whatever. Here's my kids. I feel like there's something there. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. What do you think?
I can't resonate with that at all. I don't understand.
You don't think America's like willing to sacrifice its kids to benefit itself?
America doesn't have any kids. You and I have kids. America has no kids.
Well, what about the culture of America, the people collectively, or I guess what I'm talking about is like the general apathy with this Epstein case, for example. Like, you have all these innocent kids being attacked, and everybody's like, who cares about the Epstein Files? Who cares? Move on. Nobody cares about that case. It's an internet phenomenon.
I mean, it's just...
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I just kind of feel like
I just think people are like, they're downtrodden. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do?
You think they're dejected?
You get mad and do what? What are you going to do about it?
Well, I can't say it online because it's probably illegal. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could take a boat and go to Epstein Island and, start lobbing grenades, but like, it's not, you're probably going to get shot. I wouldn't. I don't know. What are you going to do, man?
Well, I think a lot of what's being done right now is the right thing. It's just the people that are pushing it are in the minority, I think, which is kind of... But it's not much of a minority. It's not the same kind of minority that people kind of make it out to be. You know what I mean? Because it's like... It's not as bad as it was in the 90s. Maybe I should stay. Jess is saying, you stopped. I lost you after What Do You Think? So let me check the live stream really quick. Come on. Apologies, folks. I've got to keep doing this. Jess is saying you stopped. We're good on YouTube. And we're still cranking on Rumble. So I don't know what they're talking about. Or what she's talking about. I don't know what you mean, Jess. I think it's your phone. Because you have an Apple, and Apple sucks. So, anyway, sorry. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I just feel like there's a parallel between Lot wanting to give up his kids and just kind of like the apathy to like children suffering in some circles. But maybe that's just me. And Jess says, okay, you're back. Great. What do you think?
Sorry, what did you say about Apple? What?
I said she probably lost us because her phone is an Apple and Apple sucks. I hate...
They don't sell your data to everybody.
They just use slave labor. So, everybody's terrible. Again, sacrificing the young to benefit the old. Anyway, it's an inversion of the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. Am I reading too much into that?
Yeah, I don't think... I don't see the parallel.
Okay, well, then we'll move on. Just food for thought, though. This entire country might be in a Lot state of mind, maybe. Or I'm just reading too much into the script. I'm adding to the Bible like a heathen. Anyway.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't know, man.
So, all right, well, we'll move on. And they said, stand back. And they said, again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now we will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand, and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. Jess says, "You suck!" Not really, joke. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, and they smote the men that were, good night. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides, son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place? For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. Now, that's something I never realized. The daughters that were with him were like the only ones that hadn't been married. But he had other kids in the city, and I guess they died. Which is really... I just never caught that before, so I don't know.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. So...
yeah, so the whole city was evil. They killed his kid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, God destroyed the city and they died in the city, so I guess they were...
Oh, they were... Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. So, okay. Where were
15?
we at? Huh?
15?
15? Okay. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-laws. Okay, chapter 15. Yes, okay, you're right. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth, and sent him without the city. Okay, so not yet. Okay, and it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my lord. Now, behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight. Now behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. So it sounds like he's scared of being killed in the mountains. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape.
So, hang on.
Yes.
So it says, he's like, it's a little city. Could I go to the little city? So it's almost like it's exemplifying that the bigger a city gets, the more morally corrupt it becomes.
I don't think that's entirely unfounded. Yeah. I don't know if that's the point it's trying to make, but I do think that there's a correlation there, perhaps.
Yeah.
Jess, I remember when Jess went to New York, she said when she went there, she could easily see why people became atheists. Because all you do is look up at men's creation, and you get to thinking you're hot crap, being surrounded by man's stuff all the time. But, if you're out in nature and you're surrounded by God's stuff, then you tend to believe in God.
Yeah.
That was kind of her idea. So, and I agree with it. I don't think that's entirely unfounded.
Yeah.
So,
22.
22?
Yep.
Okay, great. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. For I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So,
Don't look at the past.
yeah. So I guess she was still, they say she was still in love with the city, and that's why it happened. But anyway.
Isn't that funny that like a salty woman that comes from this verse? It's funny.
I hadn't thought about that, but that makes sense, huh? Interesting. Okay. All right. I lost my spot again. 27. And Abraham gate up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked towards...
Gat up. It said gat up.
Gad up.
Say, hey, gat up.
Yeah. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. Overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up out of Zoar, and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Benami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Functional family.
That's an interesting story there.
I don't know what to make of it, because Lot's like, hey, I have these 2 women that haven't known a man, and it's like, I don't know what to, it's like, I feel bad saying they got even with him. I don't think that's the takeaway, but I don't know what else to make of that story. It's just like, that is all kinds of dysfunctional.
It's interesting, as I said.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but interesting.
Ammon's like bad though, right?
The Ammonites, yeah, they're bad. They're one of the bad groups.
Are the Moabites bad?
Yes.
Oh,
they become a
so
problem in Judges.
They were like cursed people.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I think that's the point. I think that's a valid point. Had bad beginnings, bunch of dysfunctional traditions. It all started with that particular incident. So
yeah, wild, man.
That is wild. And that is chapter 19. I guess next week we will move on to chapter 20. We're gonna call it good for tonight, at least on this part. So if you're watching us on the live stream, stay with us. We got 3 more segments left. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Doses.
Now, on to part 2. So you want to lead us in, Mr. Cody?
Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today we are talking about Gary.
Underworld, that movie you wanted to review.
Oh, yeah, that I still haven't watched after 4 weeks of talking about it. I've seen it clearly, but it's been a while.
It's a good movie. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts? Why'd you want to review Underworld?
I thought you did. And then I was like, hey, that sounds like a good idea. I like
No, I said I wanted to review vampire movies for a while because my book, The Familiar.
Oh, and I said I liked Underworld.
Yes, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah. So, by the way, The Familiar's out on Amazon, and I want money. So, if you want to read a book about vampires, you know, there's a book you could read that I wrote.
Is it age appropriate? Talk about age appropriateness.
Define age appropriate, because it has nudity.
How old
and
you got to be?
I have it 18 plus. Now that doesn't mean it's like the ranking. That doesn't mean it's like 50 Shades of Grey. There is a paragraph where a dude walks into an orgy and then leaves.
Yikes.
So, yeah, that's like the worst thing in it. So,
all right.
It's not like, it doesn't describe body parts or what's taking place. It's just, oh, this is gross.
It just says the word orgy?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So, it doesn't dwell.
All right.
So
it just paints a little picture and then backs out.
Yeah, let me put it to you this way. Everything I wrote, I passed by my wife first so I wouldn't get in trouble. So, there's that. So,
smart man.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the worst part in it. Unless you consider violence worse than, suggestive stuff. There's bloody stuff.
Everybody's super desensitized to violence.
Yeah. See, Jess says it's not described in detail. So there you go.
There you go.
So she would know because I'm like, is this bad? Please tell me if this is bad. And then she was like, it's fine. So does that answer your question? That's like the worst thing. It does. Okay, great.
It does.
So there's a specific reason for it, but I don't feel like we need to get into that. But it's it's actually tied to a cult. We do need to review cults at some point and how cults operate. Because the whole premise of the book is how does a vampire attract people and keep them without killing them or threatening to kill them, And the way that they do
Blackmail.
that. Yeah.
Like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Blackmail and actually I don't know what you'd call it. Soul ties aren't the right word, but they would use sexuality to create this fake bond, you might say.
Uh-huh.
So, Jess is no, chill out.
Huh?
I think she's telling me to chill because she can tell I'm getting nervous. So, anyway. But no, it's interesting because there was actually a Christian cult that did that. And I think that's why David Koresh wanted to be with all the guys' wives because it kind of...
It's like a thumb on their head.
Yeah.
It's a psychological manipulation.
Yeah, so I put that in there because I figured if a vampire's not going to kill anybody, they would use tactics like that. Was kind of my thinking.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about that, those cults and how they get such a grip on people. So Koresh might be a good example. But
yeah.
Anyway.
He's pretty classic. Classic cult leader.
Yeah. So we still haven't looked over Basham Hill, by the way.
I don't know who that is.
It's that cult out of Thomas Holler that's also Branch Davidian. But
I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Or I forgot.
Yeah, Jess says, yes, LOL. It's not gross and detailed. It's not smut. Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
that's what I want to know.
Yeah. But yeah, Greg actually showed us their website. They had a website. I don't know if you were here the night Greg was here, and he was talking about them, and we pulled up their website. The Branch Davidians have websites now, and they have all this end time stuff or whatever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we need to go over that. Anyway, back to Underworld. We're getting off topic. So what do you like about Underworld? Like why is it something you wanted to review?
Underworld. I have no idea. Kate Beckinsale's cool. I really wish I would have watched it, man. Like it's been probably 7 years since I've seen it.
7 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it twice before getting ready for this thing, so I guess it's a good movie in its premise about like I think it's the one that really nails down this like enmity between like werewolves and vampires. I'm trying to think of a movie before it that ever implied the two were at odds. But I think that, you know, that whole Twilight urban legend thing, you know, how like they have Jacob and Edward at odds.
Underworld.
Yeah, I think it started Underworld. So I think it's a good movie, and it's an interesting movie from the vampire lore perspective because it started that aspect of the lore, that enmity between lichens and vampires. And I like that. I think Kate Beckinsale does a good job. I always liked Michael. Thought he was an interesting character. Always felt bad for him because the guy's like just to the bit, you know, he's just minding his business. Then these vampires and werewolves start shooting at each other, and you know he doesn't know what's going on, and then he gets bit. It's just you just feel bad for the guy because it's like, I hate you. You're a werewolf now. It's like I didn't even know I was bit. So it's like at one point she's like, I kill your kind. And I was just sitting there thinking, his kind? He hasn't even met one. You know? It's just funny to me. And there's another scene in there that I mean, I like it, but it's funny. It's like the poor dude, Michael, wakes up and the vampire, not Beckinsale, but her friend, like, you know, I just realized he was bit by a werewolf. And he just, like, opens his eyes, and she jumps up and starts hissing at him. And he's just like, what? And he just kind of gets up and jumps out of the mansion without having any idea what's even happening. It was just kind of an awkward scene because she's just, like, awkwardly hissing but not doing anything. And he just has time to kind of, like, just get up and walk out of the room while she's hissing at him. It's just a little campy. So I like that. Let's see, what else? I thought Craven, a bad guy named Craven, was a little on the nose. You know, if you're gonna name a bad guy, why would you name him Craven? I'm just like, why would your mom name you Craven? That seems spiteful. So,
although bad guy names starting with KR, I mean they're usually pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. But he's a letdown of a villain, though. You know, I don't know if you remember the sequel, but
I don't.
Oh, he lasts like 2 minutes in that second movie. You know, it's like he comes up. I'm trying to remember how it happens, but you know the guy that's like the son of Marcus Aurelius or something, the immortal dude. Yeah, like he wakes up and he's, you know, a hybrid too because the werewolf had died. The werewolf scientist had died, and then the elder vampire Marcus Aurelius or whatever drank his blood. So he comes up as as a hybrid as well, and which is a plot error. That's a plot hole, but you can't really count it for the first movie because, you know, Marcus wasn't awake yet. But anyway, in the sequel, Craven comes in, sees that the elder vampire is now a hybrid, and tries to start ratting everybody out. And the guy drinks his blood, gets his memories, and then kills him. Makes his head explode. So it was really anticlimactic for that main villain of the first one. Kind of weak sauce, I thought. But anyway, I like that Kate Beckinsale has to kill that elder vampire at the end, her father figure. I thought that was a good twist and emotionally heavy. I hate that they killed Lucien because, you know, you start to like Lucien once you figure out what happened during the war, and then they kill him. Mm-hmm. That was annoying. Every time, right? And but But overall, yeah, I think it's a good film. I'm trying to think of like plot holes or something.
Yeah,
I can't.
I literally can't remember any of the movie. I'm really sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I think one thing I don't like about it is I wish more movies like actually stuck to the traditional vampire lore.
For sure.
And it doesn't do that. You know what I mean? It's like these vampires.
I feel like Twilight took too many liberties in that regard, and like kind of just destroyed all the lore.
Yeah.
None of it even matters anymore.
Like it was just slowly moving away, from the lore, and then like Twilight just jumps the shark. It's like not only do crosses not work, we're going to make them sparkle. The worst vampire ever.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, because I wanted to try to go back to that lore, because I haven't seen anything from actually showed the traditional stuff for like ever.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else?
Yeah. Owen's been talking a lot about like vampire, like I guess he's writing a book, How to Slay a Wizard, and it talks a lot about like how vampire lore and psychology of like a narcissistic person is one and the same.
Really?
I like. Oh yeah, dude. I like looking at it like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. Well, what is
psychological? That? I mean, like a vampire. A vampire can't see his reflection, right? So like, a narcissist can't tell that they're being mean because they think they're a victim of, circumstance or whatever.
Okay.
Like they don't even have any idea that they're stepping on people to inflate their ego.
Gotcha. Yeah. Like, is it because like there's a parasitic component to the vampire? Like,
I mean,
are
in
narcissists
my opinion,
parasites?
In my opinion, I think so.
Yeah.
I think our thoughts are not our own. I think parasites influence our thoughts for sure, and I feel like my thoughts improved after taking ivermectin for the first time.
I've been looking for ivermectin. Yeah.
It's go to Atwood's.
Atwood's.
Yeah.
My wife would be furious, but yeah. Anyway. But we don't want to give CNN anything to talk about. Anyhow, they might, wash out our
paste.
Yeah, eating the horse paste. So anyway. Define a narcissist for me. What do you think a narcissist is?
Define a narcissist.
Because I hear everybody use the word narcissist all the time, and I'm like, I'm good on camera. Does that mean I'm a narcissist? I mean, I'm like, I look in the mirror quite a bit and go, my hair. Does that mean I'm a narcissist? I mean, what,
Yeah.
It's not.
I think it's a super overused term. I mean, it's just a person who inflates their ego at the expense of others.
Okay.
Constantly, and they're like an addict for like, dopamine hits that make them feel good, and it can be in anything. I mean, like literally anything. Like you could be like a car narcissist, a carcissist, right? You got your Corvette and you're like, oh, my favorite thing is just like spanking Hondas, like
Look at that guy in his Honda Civic. What a loser.
I go to Honda Civic rallies and just rev my engine all over the place. That would be a carcissist.
Didn't South Park have another word for that? Started with an F, ended in get.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just like a person who doesn't care, has no regard for other people, I guess. And I mean, I've been a narcissist before. Like I think everybody goes through phases in their life. So to label somebody a narcissist isn't helping them at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I don't know. It's just a a term for language's sake or conversation's sake.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the definitions because usually it's like sometimes people just mean I don't like that guy or he was mean to me. He's a narcissist.
Right.
It's like or he didn't eat. I don't know. I mean,
I just call people vampires. I mean, I'm just old school. I think it's all the same, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting. Yeah, the vampire is definitely a big archetype. Like
I've actually got a book called Psychic Vampires.
Oh, I hate
about all this.
I think psychic vampires are weak sauce, man. I think that's like weak.
What?
I think like psychic vampires are just like vampire wannabes, but they don't want to bite people.
Yeah, but they're like, it's the same thing.
Like they're a parasitic entity. Like I could stomach calling them a parasitic entity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like when I hear the word vampire, I'm like, they got to drink blood and have teeth. That's like if you don't drink the blood and you don't have the teeth, I'm like, how are you a vampire? You're just a leech otherwise,
Yeah.
That's just
I think a parasite, I think parasites are demons, obviously, in my opinion. We've talked about this ad nauseum. So, like a parasite, it's like basically a spiritual entity because it's so small and it starts in your stomach. But if it can influence your thoughts and like it's legion, right? So it's like a hive mind. So the more of them that are in your stomach of the same kind, the more they're going to influence your thoughts.
Right.
And eventually, like say those thoughts are directed at creating an identity for those parasites. So the parasites are like, I want to be, say the parasites are the same ones that are gluttony, the demon gluttony.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the more cake he eats, the more he's trying to resemble what that demon actually looks like.
Right.
So like the big fat guy, right? So I don't know. You kind of see, I don't know. I feel like I see demons in people. They're like, it's like, I know who that is, like what we saw with Amon Hillman and Steve-O. Like,
yeah, it's like he looks like a bird.
Yeah.
And then we looked at that. What was it? Ars Goetia? And the freaking
and
almond demon was a bird. And you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like a dog looking like its owner kind of deal. So.
But it's like the parasites, like they want to exist in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can't because they're so small. They're microscopic, basically spiritual. So they influence your thoughts to create this identity so they can live vicariously through you.
Gotcha. So you think maybe narcissists are parasitic in that they live through other people?
Yes.
Okay. What about this? Let me just ask a question. Because again, I don't know if I always agree with you, but I do like chasing these ideas through. So, is a football mom or a soccer mom or a football dad, are they narcissists because they're living through their kids?
If they're doing it for the attention that they get from it, yes.
Okay, so if it benefits them directly, if they're going, yep, my kid's the captain of the football team, don't you know? Then they're narcissists.
Well, like if your kid doesn't, I don't know. I got to be careful with this. I forced my kid.
That's why I asked the question. I'm like, am I going to get you?
I forced my kid to play football, but it was good for him, and he appreciates it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say if it's like at the like the kid keeps getting his ankle broke every month or something. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Like just keeps getting hurt, and his dad's just like, no, you're playing.
Rub some dirt on it.
Like, because he's getting like a direct financial benefit from that, then yeah, that's like a narcissism thing. Like,
okay,
because it's at the expense of someone else.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to check and see if I was understanding what you're getting at correctly or not. So, okay. Let's see.
But yeah, no, supporting your kid and like being part of the team, that's fun.
Okay.
But if it's hurting your child, probably don't.
If you knock the kid off the stage, you go, yes, this trophy is mine. Thank you very much.
Right.
I taught him everything he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I got you. Interesting. So, yeah, I think I know that there's a lot of Christians and stuff that really hate like Halloween. They really hate monsters and that stuff. But I've always liked the vampire because I feel like you can communicate a lot with it. It's such an archetype. You know, like in my book,
100%.
it's addiction. You know, Madeline's literally an allegory for addiction. You know, and like a pusher, like a personification of addiction, I should say. So, you know, that entrapment through desire or whatever. So, I think there's that. I think the narcissism thing, in terms of the parasitic component of it's interesting. So, you know, okay, even though I don't like the term psychic vampire, I think I know what you're getting at in that if whoever you read, or were they saying that the person was a psychic vampire because they're like feeding off the other person's energy to benefit themselves in some way? So like they're feeding off.
It's more of just you've been in conversations with people that like it feels like they just want to win the conversation.
Yeah.
Whether they're right or not, or they have something to say. It's like they did a thing and they're like, oh, I have to tell this, right? It's just like, but they don't really need to.
Yeah.
Like, so they're like, and the classic conversation of like, oh, I jumped over a 6-foot, barrier today. And the next guy's like, oh, I jumped over a 7-foot barrier. Right.
Ah, the one-upper guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that guy. So, yes. I've heard of that guy. I know of people like that, I guess.
Sure.
Or have met them in the past. I know what you mean. So they're a type of narcissist then. So
I would say so. If they're like, they need to win the conversation every time, they're like extracting emotional energy from you because you feel like crap after that.
Ah. Okay. They're like feeding off your dismay as they keep talking.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Oh.
I changed mine.
Okay.
Cool. Moved to the casino.
Do you need more money?
I don't know.
You go ahead and talk if you got something.
All right. So we're just defining terms. Let's just wrap up the review of the Underworld, since that's what we're supposed to be talking about. So I like the movie. I think it's fantastic. I would recommend it. I really can't think of any particular plot holes with it. The plot holes kind of kick in at the sequel, but the first one's really good. I like how it's better about it. Like when I was younger, I didn't understand it as well, but it's better about tracking the secondary characters. Hang on a minute here while they're talking. I'm going to mute that. It's very good about tracking the secondary characters and giving backstories for them. And, like Roz and the vampire with the whips and everything like that. It's very good about giving little sub-story arcs and keeping you interested. So I would highly recommend Underworld. Now, Jeremiah Cook says, by Cody's definition, everyone is a psychic vampire if the right subject is brought up in front of them. The universal problem of the human ego. I think that's correct. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. We're all psychic vampires feeding off of each other until we're all just husks.
Yep. I agree completely, man.
Sunshiny, optimistic message to end on. So, okay, with that fun thought in your mind, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching this on the on the live stream, stay with us. We got 2 more subjects left. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Later on.
All right, on to part 3. This is the one I've been waiting for all night, Cody. So I guess I'll I guess I'll lead us in.
Okay.
So, welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F Podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. And tonight, Pam Bondi's got to go, Cody.
You got to go?
She's got to go.
Like to the bathroom or?
No, she's got to get out. Got to get her out. Democrats
Get
are
out.
running to Nixon. We got to get her out.
Get out of my
she
country.
Yeah. Yeah, why can't you go to Ireland like Rosie O'Donnell? So, anyway. Oh, she drove me nuts today. So, for those of you who don't know, Pam Bondi went before Congress, which may or may not be communist, which is what I wanted to say. She went before Congress, and they were basically like, why did you redact a bunch of stuff you weren't supposed to redact when we literally passed a whole law telling you not to redact what you redacted? And she's like, look at the stock market. That was basically her response. So I thought we would look at a couple of her darling responses. I don't know if she realized how bad she looked, but this was colossal. And I will repeat my prediction that I made several episodes ago. I'm like, if Trump does not get rid of Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, and Kash Patel, they are going to impeach his hind end, assuming they win the midterms, which people are getting nervous, I think. But if the Democrats win the midterms, and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Todd Blanche are still in, they're going to get Trump through one of them, and I'm going to say he could be gone by January or July, or as early as between January and July of next year. I think they're going to start running the gambit, and they're going to nail Trump through one of them, because Robert Barnes has a great nickname for her, apparently. I mean, there's a bunch of, like, allegedly things going on, but his nickname for her is Pay to Play Pam. Pay to Play Pam. So his theory is that she is covering this up in exchange for helping her lobbyist friends. So I'm thinking about adding another petulant overlay. I don't think ours did any good at all the first time, but I enjoyed making them. Instead, it's like, she's still here, or, she's still, why isn't she gone, or whatever. Bring up my Three Stooges logo again. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. I haven't decided. But at least we got the Epstein Files.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll move on. I wanted to start off with Massey and Pam Bondi's back and forth in Congress, because I found it all kinds of telling. And remember, we've said this before, because I want to defend Massey, because a lot of people are saying, well, Massey just, hates Trump or whatever. And I'm like, no, he's asked for the same thing consistently. He has asked for the FD 302 forms. Those are the specific documents he's wanted the entire time. He hasn't changed his story on that, and they've been very petty about it, because that's where the bad guys' names are. But anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and play Massey's interaction with Pam Bondi. So let me actually pull this up like a professional. All right, here we go.
The gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5
May I
minutes.
respond very briefly to her statement?
Well, I think we can do that
Okay.
probably on one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you. I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm gonna unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files.
Jeremiah Cook says, replace her with the trans guy who crashed out at GameStop. It's Ma'am Bondi. That would be an improvement. That would be
It's Ma'am Bondi.
It'd be more entertaining if nothing else.
He doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking.
This is the bariatric gelatin bedtime
Why would
recipe
you-
that took me from 198 to 147. It's
It's an
natural,
ad.
simple, has zero
It's an
side
ad.
effects, and takes less.
And then
I think it was an ad for apple cider vinegar of all things. It must have heard us talking about parasites, I guess. I don't know.
They play those
Finally.
all the time on Rumble.
They what?
They play them all the time on Rumble.
Oh, yeah? Huh. Oh, well. Moving on.
what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI.
So, Cody, I'm not sure if you saw this, but just for clarity, that first placard, that first billboard, that is a list of the victims' names. And at the top of the email, it literally says, don't release this list, something to the effect of, don't release this list, it has the victims' names. But it was an email sent to the FBI so that they knew what names to look for, and they released the email with all the victims' names on it, or a bunch of the victims' names on it. And the joke of it is that they touched it. So it's not like the email just slipped through the cracks. They literally went through it, redacted the lawyer's name, and kept all the victims' names instead, and then released the email. And so that was the first big thing he pointed out. The second big thing is Lex Wexner, who is the CEO of Victoria's Secret. Because what they were doing is, Victoria's Secret's a modeling agency that has, legitimacy back at the time or whatever. And so basically they're using this, quote-unquote legit modeling agency to bait people. So Lex Wexner was a co-conspirator. The CEO of Victoria's Secret was a co-conspirator with Jeffrey Epstein. And so his name wasn't redacted in a bunch of the emails, but in the document that expressly said he was a co-conspirator, they redacted it. They didn't redact it anywhere else. They just didn't want people to know that Lex Wexner was suspected of being an accomplice to Jeffrey Epstein. So, they're just gonna redact the victims' names, though. They're just concerned about the victims. Anyway, so now you're caught up. And of course, that 302 form, that's the form he's been asking for the whole time. Just a big black square. So, anyway.
And it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see. Because we can't.
Jeremiah Cook says, psychic reading. The redacted lawyer's name ends with Baumberg or Stein. Racist! All right.
Search the
I appreciate you for that, Jeremiah.
You don't know this,
Gary
Jeremiah. You don't know this, Jeremiah, but me and Cody have been arguing about a certain group of people for weeks on Instagram, and it just went on and on and on. So Cody is very happy with you right now.
redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a
Can I
co-conspirator.
finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer.
Come on.
We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
He
It's-
was,
Mr.
this
Chairman,
isn't how this works.
Can I have my time
He
back?
was,
Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
All right,
Kentucky.
I'm reclaiming my
Can
time.
I give my answer?
So
Yes.
I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman,
because I
may I
have
give my
answer
answer
question.
on that?
If-
It's
Here's
a political
the question.
joke, and I need to give my answer
Yeah,
on that.
we'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his
Chairman,
next question.
it's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question.
You can give
Within
me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes
You
of
ha-
me catching you red-handed.
Red hand, there was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
4,700,
Okay.
and we invited
You know what?
you
Switch-
in.
show the video.
This
Show
guy
the-
has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed
He won.
politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
I
get
want
on
you to
things
watch the
that
video.
matter.
Mr.
Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the
himself,
rules here.
there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked
I know.
to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI.
All right, I want to pause on that. Just so you know, the 800 number is where all the like non-credible crap has been going. So this is like people who are claiming things happened that have no record, you know, that they can't be verified. There was one dude claiming that George Bush was eating poop out of intestines, and just like stuff like the legitimate stuff is mixed in with the people just wanting to burn Trump down or whatever. Like, that's not the credible hotline, if that makes any sense. So she sits there and goes, "We want to hear from you." And then she gives you basically the giant group phone line that's going to have the truth and the false all mixed together, and they're not going to investigate everybody unless they want to. So it's that little bait and switch, you know what I mean? Awful. So
Give people an outlet and run away.
yeah, it's like, oh, if you're a victim, we want to hear. We're gonna provide you an automated line from which you can give a voicemail.
You
And
can
that'll
talk to the real life FBI.
yeah. We'll give you a robocall and everything. Be great. So anyway, I do love that line from Massey. Like, yeah, 40 minutes after I called you out. That's just such a great line. Anyway, so we'll just
Did
go
you
on.
ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am
at
reclaiming
all
my
the
time.
last
I'm
4
glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger
when
than
you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the
this
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to
most
know at
transparent-
what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it
Time's
back on
up.
the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has
Which,
expired.
may she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
Oh yeah, she got him.
What? He voted against pornography and she's calling that a bad thing?
Oh, she wanted to ban AI porn, or they probably paper clipped it into some bill with a bunch of crap in it. And he probably like voted against the whole bill or something. And then they're like, "Oh, you voted against AI porn," you know?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. They'll sit there and they'll take some good cause and try to use the good cause to sell, you know, a bill or whatever. And then they paper clip a bunch of crap. And then guys like Massey and Ron Paul are like, "No, we're not voting for that." Because you want, like, you basically want to spend like $5 billion on snail testing in conjunction with the ban for the porn. We're not voting for a bill that's like, you know, going to waste a bunch of money on some random project. So, and then they sit there and go, "You're for pornography." You know, that's what they do. So, that's just what they do. So anyway, that's probably what she was referring to.
It's ridiculous, man.
She's got to go. Like, she probably thinks she won that exchange. She probably honestly thought that was a gotcha. I mean, why Trump has picked this woman, I have no idea. It's insane to me. All right, well let's marinate in the stupid for one more clip.
That area, but I want to thank the Attorney General for her great work in the first year on the job, and I want to thank you for being here. With that, I would yield to the...
I don't know why he's being nice. That's such a lie. She's done a terrible job. I don't know why he said that.
ranking member for an opening statement.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman, and welcome Attorney General Bondi. You've got the best lawyer's job in America because your mission is justice and your clients are the American people.
She's done a terrible job.
But to promote justice for the people, you've got to listen to the victims, like the women seated behind you today. Those are just some of the hundreds of survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's global sex trafficking ring who are demanding that the truth be told and are demanding accountability for the abusers who trafficked and raped them. You still haven't met with these survivors. So with their permission, let me introduce to you the survivors and late survivors' family.
What?
Why don't they just let the survivors beat the hell out of Pam? That would make this short and sweet.
They probably want to, honestly. I don't know. I can't imagine. That's what doesn't make any sense because, you know, in general, they've already, in theory, interviewed them anyway because of 302 forms. So I don't know why she's hesitating to listen to them again. I don't know what it costs her, and I don't know why she'd even bother to. Yeah, I don't know why she'd put that off. But you'll note her reaction is very telling here. She clearly doesn't want to talk to them. So I just don't know why. I don't know what the thing is.
Members who are present today. There's Teresa Helm. There's Jess Michaels, Laura Bloom McGee, Danny Bensky, Liz Stein, Marina Lacerda, Sky and Amanda Roberts, who are the family of the late Virginia Giuffre, Charlene Richard, and Lisa Phillips. Now, you're not showing a lot of interest in the victims, Madam Attorney General, whether it's Epstein's human trafficking ring or the homicidal governmental violence against citizens in Minneapolis. As Attorney General, you're siding with the perpetrators and you're ignoring the victims. That will be your legacy unless you act quickly to change course. You're running a massive Epstein cover-up right out of the Department of Justice.
Well, apparently YouTube's Chad is censoring Jeremiah because he sent a message here. He says, have you heard of one of Epstein's other funding connections mentioned in the files? The name is Leon Black. He gave $158 million to Epstein, Black's dad, Ehud Blockovich, stereotypes and all. I had to send it here. The chat is malfunctioning. That's because YouTube is controlled by commies. So there you go. Leon Black. Another. I'm sure his name was redacted. We gotta protect these people with the money. So anyway.
You've been ordered by subpoena and by Congress to turn over 6 million documents, photographs, and videos in the Epstein files, but you've turned over only 3 million. You say you're not turning over the other 3 million because they're somehow duplicative, but we know that there are actual memos of victim statements in there, and you also took down the Department of Justice's prosecution memo from 2019. So it's clearly not all duplicative, but even if it were, why not release it? Just release all the duplicative stuff. In the half you did produce, you redacted the names of abusers, enablers, accomplices, and co-conspirators, apparently to spare them embarrassment and disgrace, which is the exact opposite of what the law ordered you to do. Even worse, you shockingly failed to redact many of the victims' names, which is what you were ordered to do by Congress. Some of the victims had come forward publicly, but many had not. Many had kept their torment private, even from family and friends, but you published their names, their identities, their images on thousands of pages for the world to see. So you ignored the law, and even with over 100,000 employees at your disposal, you acted with some mixture of staggering incompetence, cold indifference, and jaded cruelty towards more than 1,000 victims raped, abused, and trafficked. This performance screams cover-up. Convicted sex trafficker and groomer Ghislaine Maxwell opened the gates of hell to Virginia Giuffre and hundreds of other victims, as Virginia recorded in her remarkable book, Nobody's Girl. But when Maxwell was subpoenaed to come testify before Congress, you and Todd Blanche quickly moved her from a higher security prison to a minimum security camp in Texas, where she's enjoyed 5-star treatment, including catered meals, private gym time, and access to a therapy puppy. All because Todd Blanche, who's utterly failed to investigate the monstrous crimes of Epstein and Maxwell's co-conspirators, spent 9 hours with Maxwell and satisfied himself that she would have nothing untoward to say about Donald Trump, which is your only real interest in the matter, based on institutional performance. But abandoning victims and coddling perpetrators is what you do best. When the FBI opened a criminal investigation into the brutal killing in Minneapolis of Renee Good, a poet and 37-year-old mother of 3, by Trump's masked parent.
And this is the worst part of it, because these clowns, the Democrats, basically used the majority of this congressional hearing to grandstand about what the fraud in Minnesota. And they're like, see, it's so horrible about these Epstein files. You know what else is bad? Minnesota, the state that's been funding our campaigns. I mean, where you're getting rid of these immigrants. What? So, and the worst part is when they start talking about the Epstein stuff, they're right. And then they have to turn around and, grandstand for their own crap. So she's just like, Trump has given these people like an excuse to spread their own narrative and basically make him look guilty as sin when he's the guy that put Epstein away the first time. So it's just
crazy, dude.
It's like, it's seppuku. It's seppuku of a jackhammer. I don't know why he's doing this. It's insane to me. So let's see if they're actually going to show her respond, because he just goes off about, how horrible it is that they're taking their money from the fraud. So anyway, no, he just goes on. They're not going to show her response. So we're going to move on from that. This was another low moment for dear Bondi. She was challenged about something else, and this was her response.
Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Dow right now is over.
We've sold so many kids. I mean, business is great.
Yeah!
Guys, why are you complaining?
We've made so much money. It's fantastic. The Dow is wonderful. Yeah, never mind
the fact that these people are so morally evacuated that's literally how they think.
This is
They're like, why are you like, this needs to be done. This is how we have nice things.
That's the mentality. You're right. They believe that this is how you get stuff done. And I'll tell you the worst part of it. I think that talking point came from Trump, and I think she was supposed to shoehorn that in there, and she didn't have a choice. I don't, for as little as I think of her IQ, I don't think that was her. I think that was Trump, which really irritates me, because that's been his narrative this entire time.
It's an interjected talking point.
Yeah.
To dismantle the conversation. It didn't even fit. She's like a puppet, and she's just like inserting things where they don't belong, and she's an idiot.
Yeah. Which makes her perfect for television, because, she's just going to parrot whatever the teleprompter says. She doesn't have enough nickels to run together to run, have an original thought, which makes her a prime candidate for a face man.
Yeah.
So
I typically don't watch politics, I just watch the campaign over and over again, and I pretend that it's real, and
Yeah.
that keeps me satiated politically.
Oh, yeah. So
I don't do that, but
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just I don't understand why Trump is doing this, because he literally, of all the people that has nothing to fear, he's the top guy. I mean, he literally is the one that put Epstein in jail the first time. So,
dude, I bet he's in
cover-
there. I think maybe he thought that the dirt that they had on him was gone or something, and now he's figured out that they still have dirt on him, and he's like, why are we even talking about this?
See, here you're partially right. Here's what they did.
He's smart enough to know that if he were to freak out and go, "No, we're not talking about this," like everybody figured out really quickly. So he's trying to be, he's like not concerned with it. He's trying to put that off, but I think he's concerned with it.
I think here's what I think happened. I think they used that 800 hotline because that 800 hotline was really like big whenever Epstein was arrested, right before he was, before he unalived himself. And there was a bunch of, allegedly, but there's a bunch of anti-Trump stuff in the 800 hotline, which means basically random people were calling at the time when all of this was on the news. And so I think they went to him with this stupid 800 stuff. Hello, 7pattern77. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. So I think that they basically showed him all the crap from the 800 line, and they said, this is a hit job on you. This whole thing is a scam. You can't release this. And they freaked him out because he didn't realize that the 800 hotline was just a load of crap. That's what I think happened. I think that they took all the false stuff and scared him with it. And then he, knowing that he didn't do anything but scared that people wouldn't believe it, he tried to cover it up. Mm-hmm. That's my theory. Because I honestly think Pam Bondi, I think she's in on it. I think that this is not just incompetence. I think this is, like I said, they're running a Nixon. They're going to get Trump through the cover-up just like they did with Nixon. This whole thing is an op to get him to screw up and trip himself up, even though he hasn't done anything wrong. They're running the exact same plane. And if he doesn't get rid of them, they're going to tie him to this cover-up, and through Bondi or Blanche or Patel. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm right. 7pattern77 says, Alberta, Canada here. Well, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
Yeah. I bet it's cold up there still. Apologies. Cold weather finally broke here. So that's nice.
Hey, did you know most of Canada's actually like below the line? You know where the line at the top of America is? If you like draw that all the way and finish it and go all the way to the other side. Like it's like 75-80% of Canada's population is like under that line in the US kind of territory.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
They're just in little alcoves of Canada that come down into America.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, it's awfully cold up there. He says still some snow. Yeah. I believe it. Well, I hope it breaks for you. I don't know what the weather is all year round.
Snow's terrible.
It stinks. It's bad in Missouri, but it's mainly bad because of the ice. But anyway.
Yeah. So
that's Bondi. I think if Trump does not get rid of these guys, he is going to be impeached sometime next year. And I think if he keeps up with this whole, why do you all care? We're moving on. If he keeps up with that, he's going to get people mad enough that they're going to be okay with an impeachment, and they'll get him the next time around. So he's got to get rid of him. I think he's got to. So, and just one more thing, one final thought before we move on. The only reason we're getting these files, and I think Richard Barris from the People's Pundit, I think is what it's called, I think he's right. I think that the elections in Virginia are why we even have these files. So, the anger does make a difference, if that's hopeful. Because they specifically voted against Republicans in those local areas and they said to make a point to Trump. And I think it worked, but they would never admit it worked because that would be too much like apologizing. So anyway, keep up the pressure and maybe they'll get rid of these guys and it won't play out that way. We'll see though. We'll see. All right. That's part 3. We got one more segment left. So,
all right.
If you're watching this on the live stream, stay with us. Like I said, we got one more to go. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on the part 4. So, do you want to lead us in?
Oh, yeah. What's it about? I forgot.
We're going to look at some of the emails from the Epstein Files that have been the highlights from X.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You're ready.
Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or the Try F podcast, where we try not to F podcast up. We're going into our 4th segment tonight, and tonight we're talking about a few little things on Twitter from the Epstein Files. And Gary, how are you, buddy?
Oh, laughing at the end of the world. That's pretty
maniacal
much it.
is the word for that.
Maniacal, resigned. Yeah, resigned to my fate.
Resolute.
There we go.
Ooh.
Big words. No. 7pattern77 says subscribed. Thank you very much, 7pattern77. We really appreciate it.
As the kids would say.
All right. Yeah. So we're going to look at some of these emails just to kind of see what the newest information is. I haven't looked at this. Cody says he's able to navigate the Justice Department website. I'm too stupid. But so I went to
it's
Twitter.
Literally just a search bar. You just go in there and it says Epstein Library, and you go to the search and type in the search bar whatever word you want to look up.
Well, we can try that. We can try it. But we'll start off with X because I'm already here. And starting off, we've got... Come on. My box sucks. Anyway, what it says is, I'm not joking. We can please autocrat on Warren Buffett.
He's an autocrat. What's autocrat mean?
Well, an autocrat's usually kind of like a bureaucrat. You know, it's like a rich guy that pulls strings type of thing, I think. We can Google it, but that's what I think it means. Anyway, and then it says, I will bring you 30 more girls. And note... Huh?
It's crazy that, like, people this powerful with this much money spelled please, PLS, like a 12-year-old. It drives me nuts, man.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. Nepotism, networking. That's how things get done in these upper echelons. It's a big club, you ain't in it, all the cliches.
Crazy.
Yeah. And note, just to marinate in the stupid, the from is redacted. Because we wouldn't want the guy who sent this to look bad.
Jeremiah, what do you think the last name ends with?
Rub the salt in that wound. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can find another one here. What we got here? Actually, first, let me change my window around because apparently my YouTube stuff... No, this one fits in there. Okay, never mind. All right. So on this one, we've got... Again, from redacted, Nilly Perel, and then the email address redacted, to Jeffrey Epstein, reply, I transmitted the message, he will be on CNN, was just interviewed, I don't know when they'll put it. Before going to New York, please verify with me, because if the situation continues, we may, of course, cancel. This is from Jeffrey Epstein to Nilly Perel. So they didn't redact the name, so there's that. Okay, I think the message could be, at this critical time for Israel, there is not enough room in my thought for both defense and election politics. My focus must be solely on security-related issues. Therefore, though, I will continue, as long as the leadership allows, to oversee our defense ministry. I will no longer have the luxury of being distracted by politics. I will try to be in New York for one of those 2 days. We will not be going to Vinny this time. So, not sure what that's about, and I'm not sure why they focused on that. But I guess it's because he's... I don't know. He's focused on security-related issues, whatever that means. So we'll move on from that. All right, so let's see. This one is Soon Yi Previn from Jeffrey Epstein. I'm in town Sunday and Monday. Walk, food. Have you found a soon-to-be corpse for Lorinda? Well, that's not ominous at all. So we got that.
Soon-to-be corpse for Lorinda.
Yeah.
Who's Lorinda?
I have no idea. Okay.
I think these people have to fake their deaths all the time, so they're like, oh, I need a fake person to die for me.
There you go. There you go. We're finding a cadaver. It's not.
I think Epstein's still on the island. I don't think he ever left.
People have speculated that.
I think he's just chilling, dude.
I really hope you're wrong, but honestly, I don't think you are.
I saw a video of a guy that he tried to get up to Epstein Island and like he drove up there on a boat.
Yeah, there's been several people that have went up there.
Yeah, like there's like security guards and shit. They stop them.
Why would there be security for that unless they still got something they want to hide? I don't understand what the point would be. It's not like it's sacred ground, so I don't know what they're doing.
Because Epstein's still there. They still got a business to run, dude. It hasn't stopped.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it probably hasn't stopped. That's probably a lot to do with it. All right, what do we got here? All right. So this is from blank to blank. They've redacted both here. Call with Janine Christensen Wigner. Leon Black, who Jeremiah was just referencing, founded largest private equity global fund that exists today that's publicly traded. One of Epstein's friends, very powerful. Blank, of course it's blank. 7 to 8 years, Black was violent with her. Black bites part of her, genitals. Violence was arousing for him, very painful for her. JC represented victim for civil defamation case, not about SA case. Went to USAO in Manhattan, May or June of 2021. JC doesn't represent her anymore. Got a call from victim woman who said that she heard about lawsuit against Black. Victim said Black R'd her around 20 years ago, 2001-2002 in Epstein's townhouse. Victim described it, felt pain, like insertion of something sharp in her genitals, on massage table with head on floor and legs on his shoulders, excruciating. Spoke with Blank at Manhattan. So this sounds like an FBI agent report. Spoke with Blank at Manhattan DA office. At DA office, substance abuse problem in 90s, preyed on by Epstein. Gave massage to Epstein and Black for money. So this might be in reference to the Florida case. Lives in now, abused, happened in New York. Minor victim at Epstein's townhouse was told to give Leon Black a massage. Violently R'd by Black. 16 years old when R'd by Black. And all this is redacted. Biological mother is Blank and biological father is Blank, both alive. Blank has lived with them since 2012 when attending Blank, where Blank was counselor in charge of students with another redacted section. Black used adult sex toys in victims' rectums and vagina. Victim felt severe pinching in her vagina and began bleeding from her rectum. Black and others at Epstein's house would not take her to the doctor. Instead, flew her out of New York instead. The next day, victim did not go back to New York after that. Next few years was in Palm Beach or U.S. Virgin Islands. So that sounds like a FBI report.
So has Leon Black been shot yet?
I would not be disappointed if that happened, but I imagine not.
Somebody should fix that. Is that illegal to say?
Probably.
Oh, well.
And here's an embarrassing photo of somebody in their tighty-whities with the victim. And it says here that the Epstein Files account says, first Epstein arrest, yes please, all eyes on London. So a lot of this stuff is really going down in London because that's where most of his connections were. We talk about Mossad, MI6, CIA, all these guys basically being OSS. So this makes sense. The epicenter of this crap would have been like Europe. So anyway, if this is true, so let's see. Reports are saying that Peter Mandelson is due to be arrested today. So this is Peter Mandelson. I'm not familiar with who that is. If this is true, this is a significant development as the first person to be taken down since the Epstein Files release. And we'll leave that there. 7 Pattern 77 says, political, social, and financial influence is first and foremost a massive business which controls enormous amounts of wealth directly, indirectly, and by association. I completely agree. What do you think, Cody?
Was that, I don't know, was that a statement?
Yes, I believe it was.
What was it?
Okay,
what was it stating?
So basically that political, social, and financial influence, the idea of influence, gaining leverage over people, you might say, is first and foremost a massive business which controls enormous amounts of wealth directly and indirectly by association. So gaining like influence, leverage over people is kind of a business model in these upper echelons. It's the way I'd understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's human farming. Yeah. That's established.
Yeah, all right. So, let's see. What is this? This looks UK Crime Agency. So this is another report. Overt action is permitted on the intelligence subject to the caveats outlined in this document. 7 Patterns 77 says all of them. I think so. So, yeah.
All right.
I agree.
What do you got pulled up?
This looks like a crime report out of the UK. So, it may be shared. It may be shared as deemed necessary within FBI and DOJ only where there is genuine need to know. For further requests to decimate, please speak with the original. Please speak to the originator for permission. This information was lawfully acquired in the UK. Context: the NCA previously provided information to FBI on 6 January 2020 in relation to the U.S. investigation to Jeffrey Epstein. Dissemination form document number refers attached for reference. NCA has since been made aware of a number of regulated allegations or related allegations which have been widely reported in open source against an individual by the name of Claire Guinness, nee Hazel, who is more commonly known as ... And the document ends there. So there's that. So are you wanting to go to the DOJ now, or you want to keep looking at the Epstein Files page?
Do you have anything you're curious about? I don't.
I just feel like
a key word that you want to or a person you want to look up.
I feel like I would just get depressed, but yeah, I mean, there's the jerky stuff. Do you know about the jerky word?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've heard about the jerky stuff. I'm trying to think of another term they were using. So they posted this just to kind of rub salt in the wound. There is a 100% chance Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, per FBI Director Patel. Of course it is.
I don't know why the FBI director is Aziz Ansari, but I think it's ridiculous.
I hate myself because Dad blame it. Looking back at him now, I'm like, it's so obvious this guy's a scoundrel, but I didn't see it before I just didn't see it before he actually took the job. And I'm like, man, I feel like an idiot. Oh, wow. Yeah. 7's Pattern 77 says, tied to all the trappings which relate to enterprises. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that they just use... I think there's just so many winners and losers that are just chosen, like in politics and, business and all that. Like one thing that Benny Johnson confirmed, I don't know if you heard this, but Mamdani, that mayor out of New York, apparently his father, it isn't Jeffrey Epstein, but it's like another Epstein, So,
Huh.
yeah. And, of course, the mom knew Jeffrey Epstein. And this is, like, of course, made all the locals that voted for Mondami very unhappy with him. They were protesting around his mansion the other night. So you can't say that these files are a nothing burger. They have absolutely wreaked havoc in Britain, in New York. I mean, things are going nuts. So you can kind of see why they didn't want it released.
What's that guy's full name?
Oh, I have no idea. Zilhan or Zebon, I don't know. I can look it up.
Mom dummy.
Mom Dummy, yeah.
Mom dummy. Look at his mom dummy.
Right. Sevens pattern 77 says, rich get richer or dead. I agree. Actually, you know what I was watching, and it was kind of spooky looking back on it, but in a previous video I did on my own, because it was like a big giant documentary that was like a 7-part thing. It's called The Religion Business. And in that document, Ravi Zacharias, who I don't know if you're aware of what happened with him, but he had like a giant sex scandal. It was kind of similar to Epstein, actually, that he was trafficking women like through a masseuse operation, and then he was like hitting. He got caught with the text messages, like he was texting a woman and emailing a woman back and forth with her. But he was also had this massage thing where women were being, SA'd. And what he said, they quoted him as saying, just to get to this level of success, and he's talking about himself, you have to like morally fail or admit you failed on some, or like done something bad at some level. Like you have to betray your conscience just to get where I am. Like he literally said that in one of his lectures. Yeah.
It's spiritual, man. Like the more money you have, the more of the world you are. Because I think it's like everything's karma, right? And so to have more money than other people have, you have to step on the heads of other people.
But don't you think if karma were real, there'd be blowback on these guys? A lot of these clowns get away with it.
Well, they account for blowback.
How so?
Philosophically, it's it's putting your sin into a chicken. It's a scapegoat.
So you think they prevent the blowback by like sacrificing animals or something?
Yeah.
I don't see how that would work. But
no,
I don't know.
So
I
back
don't
in the
understand
day,
karma as an official doctor, so you'll have to fill me in on this.
I think now like they have to, like it's like the suggestion thing. You know, we had MK Ultra. Like they need you to be suggestible. They don't want to tell you to do something. They want you to come up with the idea and do it yourself for them.
Okay.
So it's like.
I thought that was just denying culpability. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we didn't do it. It's his idea.
Yeah, but there's like actual karmic blowback for it too.
Well, karma seems kind of stupid if they're able to get away with it.
Well, I mean, it all comes around in the end. That's the day of the Lord idea. I mean, that's the judgment day. Like, but I think like while we're here, we're allowed to abuse the system. We're allowed to incur debt, but it's it'll come back. And I think they're rich. I mean, it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle, right?
Yeah.
I
always thought that was due to pride, but man,
have you heard
sounds
Kanye
like you have to
about
like
sacrificing his mother. You should listen to that. I mean, it's like it's a lot to explain, Gary.
Well, I'm dumb, so you got to try, man. Like, you know, I don't understand this.
You don't think Jesus is talking about karma?
I think that there is truth to it. Like, you know, you reap what you sow. But I don't think you get the blow-by-blow balancing of the scales till the day of judgment, because a lot of these guys, they get away with it. I mean, I think it costs them something on a spiritual level. I think they become more animalistic. We were talking earlier about how
I
you
feel like the
become
day of
less
the
and
Lord
less
is a-
human over time. And I think these bad decisions, like in some measure, remove their humanity. But
Yeah.
so I think that there's a kind of karmic element to that, if you will. You cease to be, you die in a respect. You cease to be who you were, and you become this kind of animal-like thing because you're constantly wanting. You know what I mean? Like these guys, they have so much money. Like I used to say, like when we did the Bohemian Grove episode, like I talked about how these guys are basically trust fund babies that have nothing but time and money on their hands. It's like that. It's like these guys are just in this constant pursuit of like want. And so you get to these like dark places where you're just doing these terrible things because you feel nothing, because you're just perpetually pursuing novelty. So I think there's a karmic element to that, because it's like you feel nothing, you taste nothing, and you're just always looking for like something to approximate a high.
Yeah. So
real quick, Seven's Pattern 77 says, famous saying, if you want to control what someone thinks, control what they read. I agree. I agree completely.
kind of hard now with the internet and everything.
Yeah, the internet's kind of nuked their, monopoly on information, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
but
sorry.
no, I mean,
what was
like,
your thought?
I think you don't think the day of the Lord is like a personal experience for everybody?
No, I think there's like a day of judgment for the whole world that everybody's going to go through at one particular moment in time.
Huh.
No, I don't think that's like an interpersonal thing. I think that's like a specific day or age or period of
You
time.
don't think it could be both?
I've heard NDAs, like people who've had like near-death experiences, so NDEs, they talk about a life review, but I think those are two distinct things.
The life review versus the day of the Lord? You think they're different?
Yeah, I think they're different.
Where's life review in the Bible?
It's not. I'm just saying that's what NDEs always talk about.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not saying they're not real. I'm just saying, yeah, you're all right. They're not in the Bible, though, but that's just a common thing.
I feel like the day of the Lord is a personal experience for everybody at some point, and you have to die from your ego, basically, because your ego is what's incurring, like we were talking about psychic vampires earlier, your ego incurs clout, right? And then eventually you figure out, oh, I'm not my ego, and you have to kill your ego, and that is the day of the Lord, when you start searching within and finding yourself, in my eyes.
Yeah, I disagree with that. That sounds kind of new agey to me, but
that's just my personal experience, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you're not you're not God. I know, because I read your Instagram account. We argue all the time, so.
Yeah, I know I'm not God. What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean by day of the Lord then? Like, if you're not like, because when you say like day of the Lord, what I'm hearing, and I don't know if maybe you don't mean this, but what I'm hearing is like some kind of transcendence where you become like closer to God, or some kind of godlike state, like almost like enlightenment. Now, is that what you mean, or do you mean something else?
It's death of identities. When you identify with things of the world,
okay,
it creates demons in you, and so like you, at a certain point in your life, you have to kill those demons. You have to separate yourself from the world.
So why is it called a day of the Lord then, in your view?
I don't know. I just said that tonight. But I feel like we have like a day of the Lord, like a rebirth.
Okay, I don't agree with it, but I think I understand what you're saying. So yeah.
I don't know. You never killed your ego before?
No, my ego is very strong. I mean,
it sucks.
Yeah. If I killed my ego, it wasn't on purpose. I don't know if I would know if I killed my ego or not. I don't know what killing my ego would look like. I mean, there's been times I've had to eat crow, like admitting Brandon Biggs is not a prophet and feeling embarrassed about,
Well,
defending
and hey,
him.
maybe it's like if you have a good balance of eating crow when you need to, like saying I'm wrong, like I think your ego gets out of control when you can't say I'm wrong, obviously. So
Yeah.
so
I
you're
guess
keeping it on.
so I guess I would say killing your ego is eating crow. So maybe we just have different vernacular or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay. Well, we can go to the DOJ and try to search something if you want to.
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, let's see. Okay. All right.
What am I gonna search for?
Epstein Files, DOJ. All right. So we're
Type in reincarnation. See what it says.
Reincarnation. All right. Before I do that, Sevens Pattern 77 says, I believe it is this: vanity, wrath, envy, lust, enmity, shame, doubt. These 7 troubles of the heart are what we all have difficulty with to varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with that completely. So,
Yeah, demons, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Demons are feelings.
All right.
Which is why as men we should just not feel feelings.
Just die inside little by little.
No, you don't die inside. You're just too strong for feelings.
I gotcha.
Because they're demons.
Okay, that actually pulled up stuff. Holy crap. All right. Reincarnation. Let's get into it. What we got here? A Manual of Peace.
Oh no, is this one?
This is one of the files. What did you get us into, Cody?
All these pedophiles believe in that blue book with the gold writing. It's called The One or something.
The what?
You know what I'm talking about? The blue book. Come on, Gary. Where's your... I can't look anything up.
I study communism in the early 20th to late 19th century. Thank you very much. There's gaps in my knowledge.
It was like the first, not the first, but it was it was a book on enlightenment. It came out of like the 70s and 80s with all the MK Ultra people. It's called, I think it's called The One.
The One.
And it's all about, it's like New Age, New Consciousness stuff. I bet this is.
I bet you're right, dude. You just like, holy crap. Dude, you just stumbled onto something.
They all love this stuff, man.
That's so crazy.
These elitists want to make their own races and stuff.
Yeah. 7 Patterns 77 says, preventing the desired emotions of the heart. Preventing the desired emotions of the heart. Yeah, like controlling your emotions.
The heart is wicked, like Jesus said.
Okay, I'm just going to read a page. Obviously, I can't read a whole book. Oh, that don't look like a commie. Good night. Teacher's round of the path of progress. Holy crap. All right, I'm just going to read the first page. I don't think I can do a whole book here, but yeah, this looks like a bunch of like new age crap. All right, so education of inner peace in the style laid before us is the Manual of Peace. Is a must for humanity today. Modern day education has many shortcomings, as illustrated ironically by the fact that the majority of today's disasters come from supposedly the best educated being on this planet, namely the human being. The trouble with much of the circulation materials taught in schools nowadays is that they ignore the concept of peace completely. The higher one goes in education, the narrower one's knowledge becomes, and the further it becomes estranged from the concepts fundamental to peace. Many of the violent...
Well, he's not wrong. That's not wrong.
Yeah, peace is good, and people don't focus on it. It's kind of like saying water is wet, though. Yeah. All right, many of the violent acts committed in the world are perpetrated by highly educated persons, and often the victims are those who have received little education. Education for peace needs to start by imparting awareness of the consequences of one's own actions to young people. Because every action, whether good or bad, has an effect on the door's life and others' lives as well. One can't afford to be complacent or irresponsible about one's actions. Let me just take a guess here as to what's going to happen. I'm going to try an experiment. Okay, I was going to read the page. I'm not going to read the whole page. I'm going to try an experiment. This sounds like generic pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, kind of like, you know, crap you would tell anybody to lure them in and thinking this book is safe. But let's see what it says towards the end.
It sounds pretty culty so far.
Yeah, it's just generic platitudes that don't have any meaning.
Just gibberish that you're supposed to digest and like, oh, I'm this now.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this is some kind of bibliography, it looks like, and definitions. Yeah, so regular discussion of the... Here we go, regular discussion of the Dhamma. All right. Here we go. Blessing 7, having heard much. Dhamma discussion requires participants to be good listeners. We have to be able to build up the ability to listen to others first before we can expect them to listen to us. Blessing 10, artful speech. Where the heck did blessing 8 and 9 go? Oh, well. Those in the discussion must be useful speakers on the subject of Dhamma. They must not say what others want to hear by complimenting and praising them, although someone might speak 7 languages, but they can hardly be considered an artful speaker if they are always causing fights by the things they say. Okay. Well, we learned the term Dhamma. I don't know what that is. Is that like
I think it's a
Tao?
ripoff of karma. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like the Tao or the way or something. Let me try to Google that term. Dhamma. Dhamma. Why am I typing S? Dhamma. Definition.
Stop cursing, Gary.
I know, right? Another term for Dhamma, especially among... Okay, so that's a Buddhist book then. Okay. Well, we got that. All right, so the pedophiles apparently liked Buddhism. All right, let's see. We got the Hindu tradition of reincarnation. We got filmmaker Christopher Lundberg Tuesday. Tibetan Lama who was recognized as a great reincarnation. It doesn't matter if you believe in reincarnation or an evolutionary plan or anything else. What is important is to look within the self, truthfully face. Blah, blah. Okay. Earlier this month, the company told employees in an internal email that it was considering a number of F options that includes reincarnation of the... Well, let's see what's this. Richard Kahn to Jeffrey Epstein. Subject, jawbone. Despite challenges, Jawbone's Ramen still upbeat. By Reed something or another. It's been a tough 18 months for Jawbone. A new president hired from Google last year. Samir Samat returned to Google after just 6 months. It laid off 15% of its workforce. The company told one of its business partners it couldn't make an August payment deadline. Jawbone breached covenants on its $300 million loan from BlackRock. Jawbone confirmed, prompting the investor to push Jawbone to put itself on the market. The sale process didn't lead to any bids. Yet after all that, CEO Hassan Rahman is upbeat about Jawbone's prospects. An interview with the Information on Wednesday, he declared that 90CA, lots of things have changed at the wearable maker as he works to pivot the business toward medical devices. I don't know what this is. It sounds somewhat shady. So I don't know what Jawbone is. I don't think Jawbone's the actual name of the company, though. That seems like some kind of code term for something.
Yeah.
Well, there's a mystery for you. All right, you got another term in mind, or are we going to stick with this one?
No, not really.
Okay.
Type in like Chester Bennington.
Chester Bennington. Okay. How do you spell Bennington?
Benning ton.
Okay. Actually, we need to go to this. I'm in the wrong search bar. Benning ton. That's right?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. No results. Nothing on Chester Bennington. All right.
Darn.
Okay. Rob.
What about Chris Cornell? That was the same thing.
Chris. How do you spell Cornell?
Cornell, I think.
Nothing.
Yeah. Red scarves.
Red scarves. Okay.
A red scarf.
I don't know what that means, but we'll see. Nothing.
Yeah. All right. Never mind.
All right, we could do pizza or jerky, but I feel like that's been covered.
That's played out.
Yeah, I think everybody else has done a good job covering that. We'll refresh this and see if anything news actually showed up in the meantime, and then we'll call it a night. Let's see. These are just news reports.
Dang, hey, go back up.
Yes.
Who's that sitting there in that picture?
This guy? Breaking. Former Norway Prime Minister Thorbjørn Jagland charged with corruption after probe into alleged Epstein ties. Per CNN. So another one has been...
Well, those hands sure look like a Illuminati to me.
You know, good night. After this whole Epstein thing, you're probably right.
There's probably a 33 in that picture somewhere.
Yeah. Like, it's been blurred out, but yeah, who knows? I'm looking for the 33. I'm not seeing it, but who knows?
Yeah.
Wait, no, that kind of looks like a 33. It's like the flash of the lens. Anyway. Okay. So the Norway, let's see. Former Norway Prime Minister looks to be going to be, there's going to be a probe charged with corruption. Yeah, he's being charged with corruption. So
the Norway Prime Minister is getting probed or something.
Yes, corruption probe for clarity. So, all right. We're going to call it a night, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
Yeah, any final thoughts, Cody?
Nope. I don't have thoughts, man.
All right. Well,
get you in trouble.
Noted. All right. All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.